Released in 1946, Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life was initially considered a major failure. The film, with a budget of $3.7 million, only earned $3.3 million at the box office and was quickly forgotten by Hollywood. This failure not only affected Capra's reputation, one of the greatest directors of his era, but also left him in a state of deep disappointment. However, a miracle happened. Over time, the story of George Bailey, a man on the brink of despair who embarks on a journey to rediscover the meaning of his life, experienced an incredible revival. The film became an immortal Christmas classic, touching the hearts of millions around the world with its timeless message of humanity, love, and the value of life. Behind the emotional story are equally fascinating behind-the-scenes tales. H.B. Warner, playing Mr. Gower, actually slapped young Bobby Anderson to bring authenticity to a deeply moving scene. Donna Reed, the film's leading lady, personally threw the rock that shattered the window without any technical assistance. Even the fake snow used in the movie was an innovative breakthrough of its time, made from a mixture of foamite, sugar, and soap. Let's dive into 20 fascinating, strange, and sometimes deeply emotional facts about It's a Wonderful Life. 20. Donna Reed's throw that shocked the crew. The scene where George and Mary stand in front of the old abandoned house, each throwing a rock through its windows, is one of the most iconic moments in It's a Wonderful Life. Initially, Frank Capra doubted Donna Reed, who played Mary, could hit her target. To ensure the scene went smoothly, he hired a sharpshooter to stand off camera, ready to shoot out the glass if needed. When Capra said, "Donna, just throw it like you mean to break it," she smiled, picked up the rock and aimed. With a powerful throw, the sound of shattering glass rang out instantly. The entire set froze for a moment before Capra burst into laughter. "Perfect! We don't need the sharpshooter anymore!" Donna later revealed that she had played baseball in high school, so hitting the target wasn't much of a challenge for her. Jimmy Stewart, standing next to her during the scene, teased, "How many rocks would I need to hit it like you?" That moment not only surprised Capra, but also cemented one of the movie's most memorable scenes. Donna Reed, with her gentle beauty and unexpected skill, proved she wasn't just a pretty face, but a talented actress who left Hollywood in awe. 19. The slap that turned. Bobby Anderson's ear red. On the set of It's a Wonderful Life, Robert J. Anderson, the boy who played young George Bailey, experienced an unforgettable moment of pain. In the scene where Mr. Gower, the grieving pharmacist mourning the loss of his son, slaps George for refusing to deliver the prescription, the slap wasn't just acting, it was real. H.B. Warner, the actor who played Mr. Gower, actually drank alcohol before the scene to embody the despair of his character. When Warner raised his hand, the slap was so strong that Bobby's ear turned red immediately. Tears streamed down the boy's face, not from acting, but from genuine pain. Bobby tearfully asked, "Why did you do that?" But director Frank Capra didn't yell, "Cut!" He let the scene continue, allowing the real emotions to fill the screen. When the scene ended, Warner approached him with a shaky voice and said, "I'm sorry, Bobby. I didn't mean to hurt you." Bobby, still sniffling, nodded and replied, "I understand." Years later, Bobby recalled, "My ear really hurt, but Mr. Warner just wanted the scene to be perfect." That painful yet authentic moment became one of the film's most emotional and memorable scenes. 18. A scene completely rewritten. The scene where young George Bailey saves a customer from being poisoned is one of the most dramatic moments in It's a Wonderful Life. However, in the original script, this scene played out very differently, with much more comedic elements. Instead of running back to the pharmacy to stop Mr. Gower, George initially goes to his father's building and loan company for advice. But his father, stressed from dealing with Mr. Potter, shouts, "Get out, George! I don't have time for your petty problems." Not knowing what to do, George turns to his clumsy Uncle Billy. "I don't know what to do," George exclaims anxiously. But Billy, busy lighting a cigar, accidentally tosses it into a trash can, causing it to catch fire. "Fire! Tilly, help me!" Billy yells, and Tilly, George's cousin, rushes in to extinguish the flames with a pot of coffee. Frank Capra ultimately cut the entire sequence, feeling it diluted the emotional impact of the scene. "I didn't want the audience to laugh. I wanted them to feel George's courage," he explained. The adjustment made the scene far more powerful and focused. 17. The famous kiss. Filmed in real time. One of the most iconic moments in It's a Wonderful Life is the first kiss between George and Mary. What makes it so special is that the scene was filmed entirely in real time, a rarity in filmmaking at the time. In the scene, George and Mary are speaking on the phone with Sam Wainwright. As Sam offers George an enticing job opportunity, George becomes distracted by Mary's gaze. He drops the phone, pulls Mary close, and passionately kisses her. To ensure the emotions felt natural, Frank Capra set up two separate sound stages. On one, Jimmy Stewart, George, and Donna Reed, Mary, filmed the kissing scene live, while on the other, Frank Albertson, Sam Wainwright, performed his phone conversation. They were connected by a live phone line, making the interaction between the characters feel authentic and spontaneous. When the scene concluded, Capra exclaimed, "This is exactly what I wanted. Not acting, but living." That kiss, filled with raw emotion and intensity, became one of the most romantic moments in cinematic history. 16. Jimmy Stewart wasn't the only choice for George Bailey. It's hard to imagine anyone other than Jimmy Stewart playing George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. However, before the film landed in Frank Capra's hands, RKO Studios initially envisioned another major star, Cary Grant. At the time, Cary Grant was a box office sensation, and he was expected to bring charm and complexity to the role of George Bailey. However, when Capra took over the project, he had a different vision. "I needed someone the audience would love at first sight, someone kind without even realizing it. And that someone was Jimmy Stewart," Capra explained. When Stewart heard Capra's offer, he hesitated, saying, "Frank, I just got back from the war. I'm not sure I can act anymore." Capra replied, "Jimmy, you are George Bailey. No one else can do this." Stewart accepted the role without further hesitation. Years later, he reflected, "I didn't think I could pull it off, but Capra has a way of making you believe the role was made just for you." While Cary Grant might have brought a different energy to George Bailey, Capra's choice of Jimmy Stewart, whose sincerity and vulnerability shone through, turned the character into a beloved symbol of kindness and selflessness. 15. Frank Capra's first film. After World War II, Frank Capra, one of Hollywood's greatest directors of the 1930s, was behind several classics such as It Happened One Night and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. However, when World War II broke out, Capra left his glamorous Hollywood life behind and enlisted in the US Army at the age of 44, a decision he made voluntarily. "I felt guilty," Capra once said. "I made films to fight for the underprivileged, but my life was like that of a king. Money, fame, everything. I needed to do something greater." During the war, Capra didn't fight on the front lines but instead focused on creating propaganda films. His documentary series Why We Fight inspired soldiers and became a key part of the US war effort. After the war, Capra returned to Hollywood but decided to step away from the traditional studio system. He founded Liberty Films with two other prominent directors, and It's a Wonderful Life became the company's first production. "I didn't make this film for the money," Capra said. "I made it to remind people that the most important thing in life is faith in humanity." Although the film was a commercial failure upon release, it helped Capra rediscover his passion for storytelling and reaffirm his belief in the power of cinema. 14. Thomas Mitchell's on-set accident that made the final cut. One of the funniest and most memorable moments in It's a Wonderful Life happens when Uncle Billy staggers out of the Bailey household after the wedding celebration. Off-screen, a loud crash is heard, followed by Billy shouting, "I'm all right! I'm all right!" What many don't realise is that this moment wasn't scripted. During filming, a crew member accidentally dropped a tray of props just as Thomas Mitchell, playing Uncle Billy, walked off screen. Quick on his feet, Mitchell improvised the line, saving the scene from being ruined. Frank Capra, delighted by the unexpected realism, decided to keep it in the final cut. He even rewarded the crew member who dropped the tray with $10, a generous sum at the time, as a thank you for their accidental contribution. Jimmy Stewart, who was still on camera during the scene, later said, "Thomas always had a way of making everything more fun. No one else could have pulled it off so naturally." This happy accident became one of the film's most genuinely funny moments, proving that sometimes the best scenes can come from unexpected mishaps. 13. Donna Reed's memorable first leading role. It's a Wonderful Life marked a major turning point for Donna Reed, as it was her first leading role in a major motion picture. Before this, she had mostly played minor or supporting characters that didn't showcase her talent. As Mary Hatch, the intelligent and resilient wife who becomes George Bailey's emotional anchor, Donna proved she was a star. Frank Capra described Donna as the perfect Mary Hatch. He said, "I needed someone the audience would fall in love with instantly, someone gentle but with depth. Donna was exactly what I was looking for." Her performance not only opened the door to more prominent roles in film, but also set the stage for her later success on television. Years later, Donna became a household name as the star of The Donna Reed Show, a hugely popular TV series that made her one of the most famous actresses of the 1950s and 60s. From her first big break to becoming a cultural icon, Donna Reed proved she was more than just a pretty face. She was a talented actress who brought strength and warmth to every role she played. 12. Jimmy Stewart's improvised gesture. The scene where George and Mary use their honeymoon savings to save the building and loan company is one of the most emotional moments in the film. It's also where Jimmy Stewart delivered one of the most unforgettable, improvised actions of his career. As customers crowd the building and loan, demanding to withdraw their money, George tries to calm them down. "We've got to stick together or we'll all lose everything." Then, Mrs. Davis, an elderly woman, walks up to the counter and nervously asks for $17. According to the script, she was supposed to ask for $17, but Frank Capra whispered a change to Ellen Corby, the actress playing Mrs. Davis. Say $17.50 instead. Caught off guard, Stewart didn't miss a beat. Smiling warmly, he leaned over the counter and kissed Mrs. Davis on the cheek. This unscripted moment perfectly captured George Bailey's kind-hearted nature and was so touching that Capra decided to keep it in the film. Years later, Stewart reflected on the scene. "I didn't think about it. I just did what George Bailey would do. In that moment, I wasn't myself. I was George." As for Ellen Corby, she later gained fame for her role as Grandma Walton in The Waltons, earning 3 Emmy Awards for her performance. 11. Stewart and his special bond with his on-screen. Mother Beulah Bondi, who played Ma Bailey, George's mother in It's a Wonderful Life, brought to life a warm, loving and authentic portrayal of a mother. But what few people know is that Bondi played Jimmy Stewart's mother not just once but 5 times throughout her career. Beulah was the kind of person who, the moment she walked onto the set, made you feel like you were home, Jimmy Stewart once shared. When she looked at me and said, "Son, I always believe in you," I didn't feel like I was acting anymore. That was my mother, truly my mother. The first time she played Stewart's mother was in Vivacious Lady, 1938, followed by Of Human Hearts, 1938, and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, 1939. She later took on the role of Ma Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life, 1946, and reprised her motherly role for Stewart in The Jimmy Stewart Show, 1971. Each time they appeared together, Bondi brought an unmatched authenticity that made their on-screen mother-son relationship deeply heartfelt. Off-screen, Stewart continued to call her mum. not just during their time working together, but for years afterward. Their bond lasted until Bondi's passing in 1981. Years later, Stewart reflected, "Beulah wasn't just a great actress, she was truly mum to me." Thanks to this special connection, every scene they shared was filled with genuine emotion, leaving audiences deeply moved. 10. A film based on a Christmas card. It may seem unbelievable, but It's a Wonderful Life, one of the most beloved films of all time, originated from a simple Christmas card. The film's story was based on a short story titled The Greatest Gift by Philip Van Doren Stern, which had been rejected by multiple publishers. In 1943, frustrated by the lack of interest, Stern decided to self-publish the story as a Christmas card. He printed 200 copies and sent them to friends and family. One of these cards eventually landed in the hands of an RKO Pictures executive who purchased the film rights for $10,000, a significant amount at the time. Initially, RKO planned to adapt the story into a film starring Cary Grant. However, when Frank Capra took over the project, he saw its true potential. "This isn't just a Christmas story, it's a story about the value of life," Capra said. From a humble Christmas card, It's a Wonderful Life was born, becoming a timeless classic cherished by millions every holiday season. 9. George Bailey was inspired by a real-life figure. The character of George Bailey, a selfless man who sacrifices his own dreams for the good of his community, wasn't entirely fictional. Frank Capra drew inspiration from Amedeo Giannini, a real-life financier and the founder of the Bank of Italy, which later became Bank of America. Giannini was known for supporting the working class, immigrants, and those overlooked by larger banks. He was one of the first bankers to offer small loans without requiring collateral, enabling families to buy homes or start small businesses. Capra admired Giannini's humanitarian spirit and used him as a model for George Bailey. "I wanted George to be someone everyone could trust, someone who would put others' needs above his own," Capra said. Interestingly, Giannini also contributed to the film industry. Bank of America financed several legendary films, including Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Gone with the Wind, and Stagecoach. Not only was Giannini an inspiration for the character, but he also played a significant role in shaping Hollywood. 8. One of the first films released on CD-ROM. It's a Wonderful Life wasn't just a classic on the big screen, it also made history in technology. In 1993, the film became one of the first movies to be released on CD-ROM by Kinisoft Development, long before DVDs became the norm. This CD-ROM version included not only the full film, but also the original script, allowing viewers to read along with each scene as they watched. It was an innovative step toward creating an interactive movie experience for audiences. Though CD-ROMs have since become obsolete, the release of It's a Wonderful Life in this format demonstrated how the film continued to adapt to new technologies, ensuring it remained accessible to future generations. 7. Filmed in 100-degree heat. While It's a Wonderful Life beautifully captures the winter chill of Bedford Falls, the reality behind the scenes was far from frosty. The film was shot during the blazing summer of 1946 in California, with temperatures often soaring between 90 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 to 38 degrees. The cast had to wear heavy winter clothing, coats, scarves and hats, while sweating under the relentless heat. Jimmy Stewart, who had to run through Bedford Falls during the film's climactic scenes, often had to stop between takes to drink water and cool down. At one point, Frank Capra gave the crew a day off, joking, "If we keep going like this, we'll all collapse before the movie is done." Despite the sweltering conditions, the snow-covered streets of Bedford Falls looked so realistic that audiences could feel the chill. This was thanks to the innovative use of artificial snow, which revolutionized the industry. 6. A groundbreaking invention: fake snow. Before It's a Wonderful Life, fake snow in movies was typically made using painted cornflakes or shredded paper. While effective visually, These materials created noise when stepped on, making it difficult to record clean audio during filming. Frank Capra challenged RKO's technical team to create a quieter, more realistic snow effect. The result was a groundbreaking mixture of foamite, a fire extinguisher foam, soap, water, and sugar. This new formula not only looked authentic, but also allowed scenes to be filmed without disrupting sound recording. The innovation was so impressive that RKO received a technical award at the 19th Academy Awards. The Capra Snow set a new standard for creating winter scenes in Hollywood and has been used in countless films since. 5. The Gym, where the high school dance scene was filmed, still exists. The high school dance scene in It's a Wonderful Life is one of the film's most memorable moments, where the gym floor unexpectedly opens up, causing the characters to fall into the swimming pool below. But what many don't know is that the gym where this iconic scene was filmed wasn't just a temporary set. It still exists today at Beverly Hills High School. The gym, with its unique retractable floor, has been in use by students for decades. Even more fascinating, this same retractable floor was also featured in the 2000 romantic comedy Anything It Takes, in a scene remarkably similar to the one in It's a Wonderful Life, paying homage to the classic film. More than 70 years later, this gym remains a living testament to one of the most iconic scenes in cinematic history, carrying the legacy of a timeless masterpiece. 4. Bedford Falls, a completely fake but believable town. Bedford Falls, the small town setting of It's a Wonderful Life, feels so real it's easy to believe it exists. In reality, the entire town was a meticulously constructed set. The production team built Bedford Falls on 4 acres of land at the RKO Ranch in Encino, California. The set included 75 buildings, with a main street that spanned 3 city blocks. To make the town feel even more authentic, Capra had 20 live oak trees planted on the set. Interestingly, the set wasn't built specifically for It's a Wonderful Life. It had previously been used for the 1931 Oscar-winning film Cimarron. However, Capra transformed it into the idyllic Bedford Falls audiences fell in love with. "I wanted Bedford Falls to feel like a place where anyone could imagine living," Capra said. And he succeeded. Bedford Falls became a symbol of community, family, and hope. 3. A public domain error made the film a holiday classic. When It's a Wonderful Life was released in 1946, it failed to achieve commercial success. However, a copyright oversight in the 1970s turned the film into a timeless Christmas classic. In 1974, the film's copyright was not renewed due to an administrative error, placing it in the public domain. This allowed television networks to broadcast the movie during the holiday season without paying royalties. These frequent airings introduced the film to a new generation of viewers, and it gradually became a staple of Christmas programming. By the 1980s, It's a Wonderful Life was synonymous with the holiday season. In 1993, the film's copyright was restored, and NBC acquired exclusive broadcast rights. But by then, the movie's status as a Christmas favourite was already cemented. "Sometimes, failure can lead to the greatest success," one critic remarked. Indeed, without the copyright lapse, the film might have been forgotten. 2. Lionel Barrymore's perfect villain. Mr. Potter, the antagonist in It's a Wonderful Life, is one of Lionel Barrymore's most memorable roles. Before playing the greedy and ruthless Potter, Barrymore was already famous for portraying another Christmas-related character, Ebenezer Scrooge. Barrymore had played Scrooge in several radio adaptations of A Christmas Carol, and his voice became synonymous with the character. When Frank Capra needed someone to play the cold-hearted Henry Potter, he immediately thought of Barrymore. "Mr. Potter is a cruel man, but I needed someone with emotional depth, not just a one-dimensional villain," Capra explained. Barrymore brought that complexity, portraying Potter as both menacing and believably human. Barrymore beat out major contenders like Claude Rains and Vincent Price for the role. With his sharp performance, he made Potter a symbol of greed and selfishness that George Bailey had to overcome. 1. The original script was completely different. In its early stages, the script for It's a Wonderful Life was vastly different from what audiences know today. Written by Clifford Odets, Mark Connolly and Dalton Trumbo, the initial draft focused on George Bailey as a politician. This version explored George's failures in politics and his subsequent emotional collapse, culminating in his decision to take his own life. Clarence the Angel didn't show George a world without him, but instead revealed a reality where George left politics and became a successful businessman. When Frank Capra took over the project, he felt the story lacked the emotional resonance he wanted to convey. "I wanted to tell the story of an ordinary man, not a politician or a hero. I wanted the audience to see themselves in George Bailey," Capra said. Capra's rewrites turned the script into a heartfelt exploration of life's value, transforming It's a Wonderful Life into the timeless classic it is today. The behind-the-scenes magic of It's a Wonderful Life, with its unexpected improvisations, bold script changes, and groundbreaking technical innovations, did more than create a complete masterpiece. It told a story of creativity, passion, and the dedication of those who brought the film to life. Each Christmas season, as the snowy streets of Bedford Falls reappear on screen, It's a Wonderful Life continues to remind us that sometimes a small act of kindness or a sincere heart can change the world. And that is exactly what makes this film immortal. Thank you for watching. If you loved these fascinating behind-the-scenes stories from It's a Wonderful Life, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on more captivating content. See you in the next video.